Okay, I've pulled this out of its basket, released it from the plastic, and this is the texture I've gotten. It has a little bit of the basket weave on the bottom and on the sides, and all I'm doing is taking the brush and I've just kind of smoothed and rounded all the edges. I like them to be round in case there's a cascading succulent. I don't want it to break off on the edges. But this is the size this one is. I really like the way it looks. Okay, this is the smaller metal bread tray. I'm just going to pull it out and unwrap. And this did, since it dried in the basement, it is taking it quite a bit longer to dry than if it was outside in the open air. But these are, very, very hard and dried. Now this is the texture that this one has coming out. You can see the variations in the color, and that's from the buff. Some mixed up better than others, but I kind of like that variation because I think it looks like a real stone. And I like the lines in it that the plastic creates. That's what this one looks like. And what I'm going to do, let me dump out the excess, I'm just going to take my brush and just barely shape the edges. Okay, here's smoothing around the edges. I just want that top to have a little bit of texture, and make sure you've got all the excess pulled off. I think this one's going to be a really nice long trough for a row of hens and chicks up and down the sides. I'm still going to continue with getting the sides of it brushed off. And it brushes off real easy because this is very soft right at the present time. Now I've got the rasp tool, and this is kind of like a knife but with real gritty edges that'll scrape. So I'm going to do this all along the edges to get that sharp edge. I don't like my pots to have a sharp edge, especially when you plant like donkey tail sedum or burro's tail. You don't want it to have a sharp edge to fall over because that'll encourage those little beans to drop off, and then you don't get to grow the long tails. And I do go for that rustic look. And this one looks pretty good, still soft enough for me to do a little cleanup here in the middle. Crumbly. I'm going to put a few gouges in the sides so it really looks like it was hewn out of stone. I'm just going to kind of put a few marks and scrapes up and down. So now when that grows moss in there, that's going to even look more natural and rustic. Okay, I'll continue on this side with a few scratches, gouges, and scrapes. It's a little hard to see. Get that sharp edge off. But I think that is going to make it look very natural. A little bit here on the end, maybe. that looks pretty good. I'll check the other end. Make sure I've got some nice gouges in it. Okay, and that should finish this one up. It'll have to go back into a bag to sit for maybe another week, 2 weeks, since it's in the basement. But I'm going to leave it in there. But I think that looks pretty good. I'll put it down with this one. Okay, the last one is the ice cream. I've got 2 of the ice cream, but I'll just do 1 for the film. And this one just pulls right out. And we'll unwrap it from its plastic. And this is the container we get. Has the same kind of striations. I think that looks a little bit like trees on the side. And then it's shallow, so this will be for some succulents that don't need to have very long roots. Some of the John Creech or Dragon's Blood sedum will be good in this color, or even the Angelina that turns so orangey looking right now. I'm just kind of gouging that out to kind of round and straighten up the edges. It crumbles like, maybe like Play-Doh that hasn't quite gotten hard yet. And for this one, I think I'm just going to trim the rough edges that kind of stick up. You can see sideways that it has just a real sharp edge that I want to get rid of. And basically, these are ready to put up, put away for another couple weeks. And when it's warmer and I can put them outside, I'll put them outside to just sit in the spring rain. Maybe mist them with some vinegar and water solution to neutralize the alkalinity, and they'll be ready to go.